what started in 24, what is happening in 25. So we saw models like GPT, which is ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude 3, Llama, which were introduced to us, and their accuracy was immaculate. It was a really highly accurate, but not that they can replace humans. That is a really big misconception these days. AI cannot replace a human. Whatsoever happens, because it is not 100% accurate. It can never be 100% accurate. There has to be someone who's controlling that at least. And there have been massive investment into like 200 billion in AI technologies worldwide, not only India, but worldwide, for aiding research, for aiding the startups which are researching on these technologies, and to push industries to adopt this AI. Now, as we are in 2025, 40% of companies have integrated AI in one way or the other. For example, my own company, we work on AI. We have a software which works on basically for security surveillance, and we use AI for that to detect all the things going on using from the frame of the cameras. And by the end of 2025, it is estimated that 75% companies are planning to at least adopt AI, if not use them full-fledgedly. And so the advancements which we are expecting by 2025 is, first we have enhanced reasoning. The part where the AI was lagging in previous year was in the reasoning part. Some of the queries they were not giving proper reasoning. They needed to be more accurate. So they're working on that to make it more and more accurate. And this enables in critical areas where accuracy is very, very important. For example, healthcare. And next you have multimodal understanding. Multimodal is basically it can support any kind of files, any type of input like text, it can be images, it can be your audio inputs as well. So if they start supporting like this, then it will become more user friendly and it will help the user a lot. For example, if you have seen this year, you can upload files to ChatGPT, any kind of file, and it can summarize and give it to you. It can even make another file out of it and give the file as output in the form of a zip file, or you can even make an entire GitHub repository out of that. And the codes might not be 100% accurate, but yeah, it will run for sure. There might be some small, silly errors, which I have seen personally. And I have just used it for testing. Like basically, I don't use make codes using that. I just use it for debugging because I want my brain to work as well. And you have personalized AI. Like for a specific person, you can make an AI. For example, you have your summarizer for YouTube. You have a summarizer for uh, text content as well. And this year we have seen a 30% gain in the terms of efficiency and in terms of model parameters. More and more parameters they are defining to make it useful for the user who will be using it, and also to increase its performance. Yeah, so the first industry which we'll be seeing which has used AI, it is in the form of healthcare. For example, you can diagnose diseases using AI. Recently, I read an article where a woman was diagnosed with a very rare disease using AI. That is, ChatGPT diagnosed her, and which even doctors were not able to diagnose. But that doesn't mean you have to be overly dependent on that. Doctors' opinion should be taken, tests should be run. She did do that as well after learning from that AI that she might have that disease. It turned out to be true though, but verification from the doctor side is also important. You have personalized medicines as well. Like if you give your symptoms, and if it's not like that critical enough to go to a doctor, it suggests medicines as well. But yes, whenever you're making these kinds of AI, you have to take an opinion of a doctor, or at least show them. A doctor should be able to see what medicines are being prescribed, whether it is required, edit it according to what he thinks, and then add a signature, like kind of for authentication purposes as well. So it is really important for a doctor to go through that. And you have a robotic surgery. So ro- now it was unheard of that a robot is performing the surgery, but now it is reality. There are many countries where robots are performing the surgery. The doctor will be there obviously by its side, but he'll be sitting where the robot is connected to and controlling the robot, and it will have a high quality camera to give a proper view of the inside, so that he doesn't have to strain his eyes for that. Basically, it is equipped with everything, all kinds of operation, or they make it specifically for some kind related to, it can be related to heart operations, it can be related to liver, it can be related to kidney, and it can also be used for uh, checking for drugs discovery as well. And it can also suggest therapies, like kind of a recommender kind of thing. So I will showcase one example which I have here related to healthcare. I have two examples actually. Yes, analyzing X-rays as well. You're right, Bharti. You're right. Yes, image generation. Yeah, as I said, it is nothing can be 100% accurate. So it takes time for that, but you can never make it 100% accurate. Yes, detection of pneumonia. I'll show one of my own projects which I have contributed. So this is a repository called as ML Crate, which is by Abhishek, where I have contributed. Sepsis is a kind of a disease with uh, you know which is very very critical and sometimes can be fatal as well to people. So what this model does basically is it can detect faster the sepsis diagnosis. So it has some clinical records which the patient might have showed before, and you have my data set. I have taken it from sepsis survival. This is one of them, which is our Kaggle data set. So I have written the description, what I have done. I have collected the data, some of the data, outside data as well. I have reprocessed it. I have done the EDA. I have trained. I have evaluated.
Hello, sir.
Huh?
Screen not visible.
One second. Yeah, now is it visible?
Yeah, sir. Now it's
Yeah, fine. I'll showcase the slides again. So this was the starting slide basically on what uh, 2025 has brought to the AIs. And this is where I have I said about the new models which has come, the investments which has been done, the integration where companies are integrating this into their own this thing. What is that? Their own technologies which they are building on using AI. And these are some of the anticipated. One is for more the reasoning. Sometimes it is irrelevant, so they are working on it to make it more and more accurate, more and more user friendly. Multimodal, which is basically different kinds of inputs, like it can be text, it can be images, it can be audio, and you have personalized AI as well. That is like AI tutor, or AI recommender, which is personalized for you, for a specific user. And I had come till here, which is the healthcare. So it can be used for diagnostics, it can be used for medicine, it can be used for robotic surgery. I'll be showcasing this, and it can be used for faster drug discovery, is what we were discussing. So one of the examples, uh, this is a repository called as ML Crate, where all machine learning projects are there. And this person has one more repository involving deep learning, which is called as DL Simplified. I've contributed to both. So this is based on sepsis. Sepsis is a disease which is a fatal, which can be really fatal if not detected early. So I have defined the goal. I have defined what data set I have used. I have given the description. I have listed out the steps I did. I listed out what different kinds of models I use. See, because whenever I make a project using this machine learning stuff, I test it out with different models, see which one is good, which one is giving me good results. Based on that, I further do hyperparameter tuning, and then I train it, and then I predict. So I'm seeing which and all libraries I have used here. This is the heat map for correlation, and these are some ADA stuff, like kind of uh, you know you can say based on gender, based on age, based on hospital outcome, what the hospital says or doctor says basically, and age and you know if there was any episode of sepsis. Sepsis is like kind of an attack, like a kind of an asthma attack, you can say, but not exactly the same. But it can be fatal like that. So based on that records previous, it can predict whether it can occur again. If it does, when. And you have again, if hospital outcome is error, it is not coming, then what was the age for that kind of EDA kind of stuff. And I have mentioned whatever accuracy I have got, and you can see the best one is Cat Boost. It has the best of them all. And in the end, I have put my socials on it. If anyone wants to work further on this, they can contact me using all these methods. So this is one example for healthcare. The other example is the robotic surgery. So as you can see, this doctor, he is sitting in front of this machine, and it has. I'll show the machine as well. So this is how the machine looks. It has all the equipments required for the operation, whether to cut it, whether to sew it back, to check, to remove the tumors and all. It has different. It has many hands basically. So you can do any kind of operation using that if it is equipped properly. So the robot will be the one who will be operating on the patient, and you have your the doctor here. So that robot is equipped with the high definition camera, which shows what's going on inside, which part it is in, which part it needs to be operated. So the doctor sees that using this, and he operates the arms here, basically like how he does normally, but he's not putting his hands inside the patient actually. It is the robot which is putting, and robot he is nearby the robot itself, so that if anything goes awry, he can immediately react. Because as I said, robots can never be 100% accurate. So this is an example for the robotic side. We'll go to the next slide. Start from the current slide. Yeah. So the next one is finance. You can use AI. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. I haven't tried it yet. But you can use it for algorithmic trading. Like, for example, in trading, there are some algorithms as well in trading. So for that, you can use it. Uh, and it helps in building the strategies for trading, and it has outperformed humans itself by 30%. So you can get profit, but risk is there as always. And you have fraud detection. You can use like for fake news. You can see if someone is trying to scam you as well using that. There are models which detect frauds as well. And till now, it has prevented over 10 billion in money by financial losses, because you can detect not only in terms of person scamming, but also you can detect hacking as well using this. You have personalized banking. So um, you have personalized banking as well. So the AI, you can suppose you want a loan, so you can ask the AI which banks provide the best, which is the best to go for that. It might give advice that you can go with this bank according to your needs, according to your requests. But it may not be 100% accurate, but worth it to try for. And you have automated compliance, like you can automate stuff using AI, which humans can do again and again. You can automate it using an AI. For example, you're loading a truck. If you program the AI into a robot to do that same, it will do on its own. You will not do anything. Just kind of supervision so that it doesn't do anything wrong. And it has reduced the cost, because if you replace it with a human, you won't be paying the machine except for its batteries or oil, whatever it's using. So that has reduced the operational cost by 25%. So for fraud detection, you can use like anomaly detection. That model is that you can combine it with your Wireshark, you can combine it with your uh, or there's a Docker Kubernetes to check for any suspicious activities going on. And you have one more industry which is for education. So in the education side, you have uh, a lot of advantages. One is the AI tutors. One is automated. The second one is automated grading. Third, you can even design your own curriculum, like you can design your own courses using AI. I'll show one such case, and you have accessibility as well. So because of AI, your accessibility is also improved. So by AI tutors, I mean rather you have kind of you can say a ChatGPT kind of thing, but personalized for you. You can personalize it to make for one subject alone. You can make it for multiple subjects, and you have automated grading. It can if you feed it the answers and give it the students papers to check. It does check, but different students writes in different ways, so it has to be trained. Like vigorous training is needed. It needs hours and hours of training, like healthcare. But using that, the teachers have saved 40% of their time, and it is consistent till now with the feedbacks and no grading their assessments. Curriculum design, if you want to design you have a course which you will be teaching and you want to design a curriculum which helps the students understand it in an easier manner. You have an AI for that. You can use AI for that as well. And accessibility is like because you are using AI and some of them are free, so it makes it more accessible to the people who might be financially down. They are trying to get it to people who don't have access to internet as well by using offline stuff. They are trying that. I'm not sure about how much time it might take, but I know they are trying. So I'll show one example of two examples actually. Yeah. So you have this website AI Tutor. You can create courses here. For example, you can just give a prompt here saying that I want a course on fundamentals of machine learning. So it will create its own course. It will ensure all important topics are there and does not leave. And if you feel it has left out, you can always include that in your prompt. Make it, make your prompt more and more specific so that it can make it as per your requirements. Basically, kind of prompt engineering, you can say. So you can create a course for any topic in this. The other one is Sophist AI. So this has been built by my friends at in Kolkata. Uh, they are built by people who are a part of no build community, and I'm the event lead there. So uh, I know how they have created this. I know the entire thing. So basically, you just have to enter the subject name. For example, you have kind of mechanical or you can say civil kind of subjects. You can put it here. Or if you want to go to computer science, you can put database management system. And you have a college provides you the syllabus, right? You can paste your syllabus or you can upload it in any format. And formatting, it supports all kind of formatting. So when you click on create mind map, it will create a roadmap for you based on your syllabus, based on the topic which you have selected. So it makes the learning process easier for the students and prepare them properly for exams. Like basically you can use it even for last minute reading as well. It provides proper what I have seen, what I've tested. It gives a proper feedbacks. uh, so going back to the ppt. Yeah. So our next slide is on ethical considerations. Yeah. Bias. The first and foremost concentration is on bias mitigation. So that see, whenever you're training, there is some kind of bias that you have to train on. Some of the people will be training or might be biased. So to so they are working on making it more and more fair to all sets of people, and that there is less to less bias. You cannot eliminate the bias because it is a model in the end. It is real difficult to eliminate the bias, but you can reduce it as low as possible. and they are trying for more and more data privacy so that they don't store the information for a long time. They can discard it after the user is there. Some of them they do provide for saving because the person might want to see it again and go back, which you can see in ChatGPT. You can see your previous prompts at least for 30 days is 30 days. Transparency, so they're working on making that coding process more transparent. I mean, in the sense they are trying to make the general public itself uh, try to code and make their own AI, make it that easy by building all these frameworks like fast AI and all are there. You can use that for that. And you have and they are working on the regulations because some people they use it to cheat. They malpractice, you will get it anywhere. That after AI has come, it has increased more. So that is why they are working on regulating that, restricting people using that, so that it doesn't, go to people with, even if it goes to people with the wrong hands, it doesn't work for them. I mean, it shouldn't be useful for them, as it can be no, really dangerous, basically. So the challenges, first one is computing cost. So AI infrastructure, you can see GPU, laptops itself, they are like very, very expensive. They're really expensive. So similar components, like you have a GPU machine, you have a hardware, you have Jetson Nanos. All these are really expensive. So the cost of computing is increasing. So that is what one of the challenges is, which we need to take care of. You have a talent gap, that is, if you see, there is a not that much competition for AI roles, basically. I mean, from what I have seen more web developers than AI engineers in my life till now. And you have infrastructure readiness. So you might have the infrastructure, but it is not ready to, because millions of people might access your website. So scaling will become very difficult, even though you have cloud and stuff, but still you haven't made the full use of that. And there are some security vulnerabilities. So yeah, the websites can be hacked as well. Uh, so there are people working on keeping it secure from getting hacked, so that, because if it hacks, there will be data loss, there will be loss of money as well for the company which got hacked. For example, you can say CrowdStrike recently got compromised. So it is really important to work on the security side as well. Like literally every minute it evolves, like I was saying yesterday. So what do we have in the future? uh, First one is the AI driven creativity. That is, there are new forms of art, there are new forms of music, literature, from collaborations. So, more because of AI, the creativity is increasing more and more. Yes, some people do disagree with this, that originality is going, as I do agree with it to some extent, but it can help you give ideas as well. The second one is human AI collaborations. So human and AI can work together, which can help increasing productivities. You can even create your own timetable using that. It will keep reminding you. You have global adoption because more than one people are using, will be using AI by end of 2025 in their everyday life. And I have seen myself, so many people using that for various reasons. And you have democratization of AI. That is because since many people will be using, so there are like people will be a different kind. So it should be inclusive to all. That is what is meant by that. And so the future, which is the road ahead, first is the strategic embrace. So organizations are integrating AI as core strategic, and basically for growing the company as well as their profit. And you should use AI very responsibility, as is the second point, which is responsible practices. So AI should be used and developed ethically and not used for the wrong reasons. You have collaborative shaping, so it's not like you're the only one. You can have using GitHub and other such things like Bitbucket and all. You can have more than one people from any corner of the world to contribute to the project you're making. like what he has made in ML Crit and DL Simplified. And you have sustainable growth. So the growth should be in such a way that it should be scalable, it should be eco-friendly as well. Uh, and this has helped in sustaining its growth. That is, it's helping in increasing the growth of AI day by day. Yeah. So that is it. As I said, I am giving it short, so I'll see the questions. I was creating a text to 3D eyes, and I said generate a human body, it added eyes to the knees. Yes, they are still working on that. There are like a hell lot of uh, models today. You can generate using, if you go for this thing, Sora, it generates a good one. If you can go for Mistral, that's also a good one, which I have used. Jaijit, okay. Sir, the accuracy should be between 0 and 1, right? I'm talking in terms of percentage, not in terms of the this thing. What decimals? I'm talking in terms of percentage, 90.93%, not like in your terms, it will be 0.9093. Aditya Kumar Sahu. Sir, one doubt. As a man developer, how I survive in this AI journey? See, basically, as I'm telling, AI can never replace a person. That is the misconception. Now you can say one. I heard that one company they had fired off six, like around 5K employees, but after a period of time they rehired them back because AI was not doing the job as they expected to. So it's like that. AI might be used extensively, but it cannot replace a person. If you ask me, I do my it can what work I am doing even if I can do it cannot do at all. Yeah, Aman, I will share the PPT with the organizers. They will be sharing it with all of you. So, how to begin AI journey from zero? So, see, first step to learn AI is you have to start learning Python. Yeah, I'm not exactly master, but at least you should be thorough with the basic syntaxes of Python and some of the libraries which is used for building AIs right now. After that, after that, a kind of a little bit of the Django side if you want to deploy it and make it accessible to all, host it basically. So you need to write the website side of things for that, and then you can start with machine learning, deep learning, generative AI like that. It's a step-by-step process. And it takes some time. It needs you need to dedicate some time. But if you ask me about roles and all, so for AI roles, actually, it is less, honestly, to be very honest. Roles are less, but it is there. You might not be able to start with there, but you can shift it to the AI engineer role as well. There are companies hiring, I've seen that, but it's not too much as well. Like what web, you can literally find every second there is an opening for a man developer or web developer. Yeah. So any other questions you guys have? Can you share your LinkedIn ID? Yes, for sure. I'll share it in the chat box itself. Uh, so I have shared my LinkedIn ID. So if you have further doubts, you can contact me there as well. I'll try to answer as soon as possible. Yeah. So any other doubts you guys have which I can answer? What's the proper way to start learning DevOps? Okay, so for DevOps, the first step is you have to learn more about the this thing, which is that the command line interface. You have to learn about that. After that, you can move on to the DevOps tools like Docker, Kubernetes, um, and other tools, Argo CD, Grafana, Prometheus, and some of the other tools which I have shown yesterday, Trivi and all. So first you need to be thorough with the commands. Like the basic commands should be in your head. Without seeing, you have to type the command like I do every day. That's great. Yes. Yes, Aditya, go on. You can type your question in the chat or you can even unmute it. Sir, what is the accuracy exactly like? Will it be better getting 0.83 or 0.903? Otherwise, like 80% or 90% accuracy. So see, whenever you train a model, your accuracy will be in the form of decimals itself, like you have mentioned. Uh, and that is the better way actually, because it gives me the exact figure. Percentage, I just multiplied by 100 and converted it into percentage. That's it. Like if you get 0.9037, it will be like 90.37%. If you are explaining it to customers, the percentage side will be good. And if you want more towards, if you are explaining it to an AI guy, AI engineer guy, you can use the decimals. See, because customers might not know that much about it. They might not. I have seen both the ways. So, and sometimes they might know more than you do. Starting with blockchain basic rough roadmap. Yes, if you can use rough roadmap. Basically, AI they start with all those like languages like Ethereum. Solidity is also there, which you make smart contracts out of. So you can start with those Ethereum, all those things. Then you can dive deeper into the mining side. You have a website for that called as Hackwest. I will type it in the chat box. Hackwest. So they have courses on each and everything with blockchain, and it is a really good way to learn. They have made it in such a way that anyone can understand. Shivans, nowadays I feel ChatGPT speed was low. Yeah, that's because see, billions of people are using, and the equipment they have in OpenAI office. It is really difficult to manage so many people at a time, but still they are able to manage, which is great. So sometimes because computing, as I said, computing cost is high. They don't use too much. Yes, roadmap.sh is also a good one for making a roadmap. But if you want for like last minute kind of exam preparation stuff, you can go for Sophist AI. And okay, sir, that I understood, but it is better getting point 0.8 or better getting point 0.9. So see, it depends. Point 0.9 is actually good. It means 90% accuracy. It is better. But thing is, sometimes in getting quest to get more than 90%, you tend to go overfit it or underfit the models. You have to check that as well. So a model which is giving 80% accuracy without any kind of underfitting or overfitting is much, much, much better compared to a model which is giving 90% accuracy, but it is overfitted. It's not the accuracy which matters, but it's the quality of the quality of the predictions it is giving which matters more. I hope you got that, Aditya. And yes, exactly. So with overfitting, it is not good. 90% is not good. Basically, it should be balanced. It shouldn't be like, you're overfitting or underfitting. That is not good. And the results might, No, if you, especially in the healthcare side, if you do that, give a, show the I mean, overfitted model as a good one, and you implement that, there will be some patients who will lose their life. Yeah, go on, Varshit. So, guys, anyone else? Any other doubts? We still have like around 15 minutes more, so I can answer some more questions if you guys want. And yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention is I have seen some of the no research side. They are researching on using AI for brain signal mapping, which is a real complex uh, task actually, and it is not easy to do. It takes like hours and hours of training for that. Yeah, like if you see the one I showed the model, that only took me like around 6 7 hours to train, and there are some more which I have made like heart disease prediction and all, which took like literally days together. And I've made one more for my final year project, which is an image and video in painting. That it took like literally 1 week to just train it. Since I have, I mean, since I didn't have a GPU laptop, so I had to take help of the my college for that. But I was able to accomplish that. The, it was a good one actually. I enjoyed making that model. GANs are real, like generative adversarial networks, which in short is called GANs, are a real fun to work with. So yeah, anything else you guys? Okay, one time a person asks the One time a person asked the AI going to suicide, tell the AI also tell to when die, and the person was really suicide and dead. So yes, that is why I said in terms of healthcare, you should be really, 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 really careful because as I said, patients can go and die. You have to keep a check on that. That is why I said that whatever it is responding should go through a doctor before responding it to the patient. It should be approved by a doctor. Yeah, so neural networks, it's basically based on our nerve cells, which we have in our body that is interconnected. So we have different layers, like and you have an optimizer so that your data is in the proper format and it can be processed by the model. A model, it depends. You have artificial neural network. It has different kinds of layers. Kind of like you have your singer neural, you have different kind of, so many nerves connected together. So kind of like that. That is what it's meant by neural networks. Yeah, ANN is artificial neural network. Like kind of not exactly like this thing, but it is trying to mimic a neural network, but not really a neural network. And RNN is recurring. That is like the layers are recurring, repeating. It can go up to, people train up to 100 layers as well as what I've seen. More than 100 also I've seen that. And CNN is convolutional. That is like your layers are kind of, more towards the patterns in the data. More, that's why it is used for like tasks like handwriting, for distinguishing people, for detecting people. ANN is, as I said, artificial neural network. As the name says, it is not exactly a neural network, but trying to mimic one. Mimic in the sense trying to copy that. It's like a neural network, but it's not. But it does like do the kind of properties it has of that. But it is not a real one. I mean, in the sense, it is trying to mimic one neural network like. For example, it is used mainly for text data, like to check if if the text for converting it to this different types. So you use that, use ANN for that. It depends upon the task where what you use. So for image data, which neural network would be used? Mostly CNN. You have recurring CNN, RCNN as well. You have deep CNN as well. It depends based on the layers the naming is done. So, but most probably CNN that side, and you have some other models like UNet, ResNet, and all. For image data, see what basically CNN does is you give the data and it takes each and every pixel, not just the entire photo. It takes each and every pixel of that image and processes that as per the requirements you have defined, like the parameters you have defined, or the layers basically. Like you have a convolutional layer, you have some more layers like drop layer, something like that. Okay, then I'll end the session right now. Um, so the next session will start in like 5 minutes. The speaker is already here, so it was a great time, and I again thank Dev Expanse, Next Fellow, and Hack with Gujarat for this beautiful opportunity. And I hope people have learned something at least from this session. My LinkedIn is always there to help you all whenever uh, I can. So feel free to contact me on LinkedIn if you have any more doubts. And thank you for your uh, time, that too on a Sunday evening. Yeah, goodbye.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Cool. Let me just share my presentation and we'll start. I'm not able to share my screen. Can you give me the access? Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Just
Yes, sir, the screen is properly visible.
Yeah. Can you tell me what is the first one? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
What is the first one? Fill in the blank. Let's try. Let's start with this. I'll come to the topic. Can you see the fill in the blanks? I am not sure. Yeah, kya ho raha hai?
Yes, sir.
Prompt. Right. What is the second one? What could be the second one? Pigeon. Right. Now, what is the third one? How do decoders? What do you think? How do decoders? How do decoders work? How do decoders decode? What could be the other answer? Well, how do decoders function? Right. Now, what is the fourth one? Today we will. Today we will. Any guess? Today we will learn AI. Today we will use AI. And the last one is what our attention needs. So the point I wanted to make is that the way we think, ChatGPT also does the same. It may look like that ChatGPT can do lots of stuff, but at its core, it's only predicting the next word or the missing word. That's it. That's what it's doing. So any idea what is an AI agent? Like, have you heard of this term called AI agent? AI agent tains through itself. Okay. So, what is a large language model? It does some works. We tell them, okay, yeah. Agent that convert an AI into a speaking bot. Okay. What is a large language model? So ChatGPT is a large language model. Okay, yes, right. So it's like brand name and the actual product. So ChatGPT is a brand name, but the actual product or technology is your large language model. Okay, it's like Colgate and toothpaste. Colgate is your brand name, but your actual product is toothpaste, right? Yeah, when a large data are said to be the database, LLM generate and process multiple lines of text. Okay, so you guys have a basic idea. Now let's start from the basics. So we'll start with basics that, so we all know that in order to interact with a computer system, we need to write code, right? And what is a code? Code is a set of instructions written in a programming language. Now, what are these programming languages? Python, Java, PHP. Now, these are high-level languages which first get converted into low-level language and ultimately into binary, and then only computer can understand. But nowadays, we talk to Alexa and Alexa replies back. Now, how does that happen? How computers started understanding our natural language like English, Hindi, Marathi, German, French. So the field of AI that deals with natural language is known as natural language processing. So now how computers started generating and processing images? So let's understand this. So let's say if you only know English, you don't know any other language. And if I ask you to translate these German words to Hindi, what would be your approach? Your approach would be that, you'll first somehow translate from German to English and then English to Hindi so that you understand what it is, right? Now, what is the language that computers understand? Computers only understand one thing. They don't understand any other thing. So what is one thing that computers understand? So computers don't understand words, computers don't understand images. What is one thing that computers understand? Any idea? In fact, binary, right? So they only understand binary. And if you go one level up, they actually understand numbers. So if you have to make anything, if you want computers to understand anything, you have to first convert that thing into numbers. So this is what we'll do. So let's say if we have this sentence that this is a great way to learn AI, then if we want computers to understand this, we need to convert this into numbers. So what we are saying that if this equals to 1 is equals to 2 and so on. So this sentence, this is a great way to learn AI, actually becomes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, a number vector for computers. And similarly other sentences also becomes they also become numbers. And once they become number, then we can actually do mathematical operations like matrix multiplication and all. And then computer can actually identify the pattern and it understands the language. So the process of converting words into numbers is known as tokenization. Okay, so what is tokenization? Basically, we replace English with a language that computer can understand, which is numbers. And why we want to do that? Because so that we can perform mathematical operations on the numbers. So that's how AI models or computers started understanding language. So we converted numbers, words into numbers, and then we train the model. But the problem is language is not that simple. Language is complex. For example, just consider these three words. Now, the word bank has two meanings. One is your financial institution and other is your river bank. Similarly, the word content means satisfied and content that we watch on social media. And the third word read and its present tense read, same spelling but different tenses. So now if you just assign bank equals to 42, how will computer understand that you are talking about a financial institution or a river bank? So see here, I am going to bank to deposit money. We sat on the river bank and had a picnic. I am content with my job. I am making content for social media. I read newspaper every day and I read a book yesterday. So language is not that simple. And these are just three examples. We can have many examples like this. So then to solve this problem, Google came up with this concept called transformers in 2017. Okay. So by the way, do you know what GPT stands for in ChatGPT? What is the full form of GPT in ChatGPT? Full form of GPT in ChatGPT. Generative pre-trained transformer. Absolutely correct. So a transformer which is pre-trained and which can generate, right? So ChatGPT is also a kind of transformer. Okay, so Google introduced transformers in 2017 with a very cult paper, which is with the title "Attention is All You Need," and it actually changed the whole game of NLP, and computers started understanding languages properly. So, in order to understand transformer, let's understand this. If I come to you and if I say I had a productive day today, my task completed before time, what could be your answer? If I come to you and if I say I had a productive day today, my task completed before time, so your answer could be like good for you, something like that, right? But let's say if I come to you and if I say I had a productive day today, my task completed before time, I also got a promotion today at work. Now, what would be your reply to me? If I come to you and if I say these three sentences, what would be your reply? I had a productive day today. My task completed before time. I also got a promotion today at work. What could be your reply to me now? That's great. Congrats, right? Let's go for a party. But the point is your reply changed. Why did your reply change? I only added a third line. See, these first two lines are still the same. I only added a third line, but your reply changed. Why did your reply change? Eye-catching information, okay. What else? Why did your reply change when I added a third line? The first two lines were still the same. I only added a third line, your reply changed. So your reply changed because promotion is a high priority event and productive day and task completion are lower priority event. So now, if you see here, how do we know that this word is read and not read? So we start reading from left to right. How do you know that this word is read? This word is read because of the word every day. But every day is coming at the end. And we are still on the first word. So how do we know that this is read and not read? Context. Right. So context is the main thing. See, so what happens here is maybe a child reads like a one word at a time, but we adult actually read the whole sentence together. We actually pay attention to the whole sentence, and that's what Google proposed. Attention is all you need. So because of that, it actually changed the whole game of natural language processing. So what is self-attention? Attention is a way of giving priority to certain words, or basically getting more context, and extracts information from the whole sequence, a weighted sum of all the past encoders. So with so this is what happened. So before transformers, model just understood relevance of the word which is before that word or after that word. But after transformers, model started understanding how one word is related with all other words in the sentence. So now models know that how the word teacher is related to the word the, with the word taught, with the word student, with the word with the word book. So that's how models got trained, and they started understanding like natural languages. So then came some use cases. So the first use case that came was sentiment analysis. So any idea what is sentiment analysis? Any idea what sentiment analysis is? You can unmute also if you want. All means emotion, right? So basically analyze the sentiment emotion. Absolutely. See, so the idea here is basically you give text to the model, and model will tell whether whether the text contains positive sentiments or negative sentiments. But what is the use case? What is the business use case here? Why we want to detect or why we want to analyze sentiments? What is the business use case here? How companies can use this? So how companies can use sentiment analysis? Like why we need to determine the emotional tone? So use case could be like Amazon wants to understand whether the review is positive or negative, right? So yes, use in ad promotion, feedback, comments. So basically now, brands want to understand what kind of things people are, tweeting about them, or political parties, they want to understand what kind of things people are writing about them. So that's your sentiment analysis. Then another use case was autocorrect. Okay, so what is the first thing you learned when you learned English? What is the first thing you learned that you learned English? like as a child, as of 3-4 year alphabet, right? After alphabet, what did you learn? Words. So AI models, they started their learning journey with words, and so then came the use case of autocorrect that we use in our WhatsApp. So when we start writing words, it actually suggests different words. That's autocorrect. So that's an AI. Now afterwards, what did you learn? Sentences. So model then started learning sentences, and then came the use case of autocomplete that we use in our Gmail, in our Google Doc, these way. And then because AI models learned all the languages together, so then came the use case of language translation, and then voice came, so text to voice, voice to text. So all these things happened. But now the point is, like, AI is not something new. We have been knowingly or unknowingly using AI in our daily lives. But when ChatGPT was released in 2022, it became such a hit, and now everyone talks about AI. So what happened? Why ChatGPT became so successful? It's not that chat AI, AI came with ChatGPT. AI was still there. We have been using, right, all these things: sentiment analysis, autocorrect, language translation, all these things we have been using. Then what happened? Why ChatGPT became so successful? It's a huge database, generative features, right? Right. What else? But there was one important thing that happened. Huge database is absolutely correct, but then again there is one more thing. Image generation is okay, but okay. So, but ChatGPT, why ChatGPT became so successful? Okay, let me rephrase this. Free Ghibli train came now. Market timing, free. It's still free, right? All these like autocorrect, autocomplete, they are still free, right? Why people started talking about ChatGPT? Search innovative. It answered mostly any types of question. They learned from mistakes, commercial. It is communicated and human-like responses. Sakshi Karvade. You're absolutely correct. Now, so basically two things happen. First, large language models are nothing but transformers trained on huge data. Now, what do we mean by huge data? What do we mean by huge data? So how much huge? Do you have any idea on how much data ChatGPT was trained on? Any idea how much data ChatGPT was trained on? Numerous fields, but how much data? Like, is there any number? More than TBs in, right? So it was 300 billion tokens. 300 billion tokens, as in, so 3 words are roughly equals to 4 tokens. So it's actually 225 billion words. So consider transformer as transformers are it's like, was like 8 to 10-year-old kid who can actually understand language but does not have any world knowledge. So transformers were trained on huge data, like around 225 billion words. So then transformers acquired lots of knowledge. So now they can actually, and they became LLM, which is large language models, and LLMs can now actually generate poetry. They can talk about physics, philosophy, programming. So they know lots of things. But second thing that happened was this thing called reinforcement learning from human feedback. Now just let's try to understand this. So if I give this prompt that my house is too hot and I want answer to be helpful, I want model to help me. Now see, the first answer that model generated was, there is nothing you can do about hot houses. So model did not try to help me here in the first case. In the second case, model said you can cool your house with air conditioning. Now here model is trying to help me. And the third answer which model generated was it is not too hot. So now here model is not acknowledging my problem itself. But now see that all these three answers in terms of language, in terms of grammar, in terms of sentence formation, in terms of vocabulary, in terms of relevancy, all these three answers are correct. But the question is, will you accept all these three answers as an answer? Do you accept, do you take all these three answers? Do you accept all these three answers if your criteria is helpfulness? If you want model to help you? So if your answer is no, which answer will you accept? Out of these three, which answer will you accept? We opt for the best one. Exactly. Second, right. So this is what happened. So then what happened was thousands of humans actually rated answers. So for example, in this case, I rated the second answer as my number one preference, that you can cool your house with air conditioning. I said, okay, this is the answer which I accept. There is nothing you can do about hot houses. I gave that as a second preference. And my house is too hot. I gave that as that third preference, that I'll not accept this as an answer. And then this data was again fed back to the model. And then model actually started understanding human preferences. And the answers, basically model started answering what humans prefer. And that's why ChatGPT became so successful, because AI models started answering which are close to human preferences. And that's what Sakshi also mentioned, right? That we actually, and that actually made ChatGPT so much successful and these large language models so successful. And that's why people started talking about AI. Any questions so far? See, so transformers, basically, in a one sentence, transformer, in a transformer, this image will make you understand what transformer is. Transformer, a word in transformer started understanding the relationship of one word with all the other words in the sentence. Before that, before transformers, model did not know how the word teacher is related with the word student in this sentence. But after transformers, each word, now model understands how each word is related to all other words in the sentence. That's what transformer is. So with transformers, AI model started understanding languages. Encoder decoder architecture, that's all. So that's technical thing. I don't want to go into detail. I just trying to give you a high level view of what exactly happened. So encoder decoder, all those things are there. So encoder only, decoder only, all those things are there. I just wanted to give you a high level view so that you understand the basic concept of this. Okay. So if you see this was the training data for ChatGPT, the GPT-3, that was the main model. It was trained on 300 billion tokens. It took around 1,000 to 10,000 V100 GPUs, 1 month of training, and it costed them around $10 million. For Llama, it was trained on 1 to 1.4 trillion tokens. It took 2,488 800 GPUs, 21 days of training, and it costed them around $5 million. So now it's very, it needs a lot of infrastructure to train these models, GPT, Llama, right? In terms of data, 67% of the data came from the common crawl, which is like internet. And then the data that was used was from GitHub, Wikipedia, books, archives, Stack Exchange. And if you look at the right-hand side, it was almost 5 TB of text data. Can you imagine 5 TB of text data? 5 TB of text data was used to train initial Llama model or around GPT models. So now let's come to the main topic, which is your AI agent. So we understood what LLM is, but now what is AI agent? Now let's check your understanding. What do you think? What is an AI agent? How is it different from a large language model now? How an AI agent is different from a large language model? Why we are talking so much about AI agents these days? Is it same as a large language model or is it different? It does not give suggestions. Okay, then what does it do? What does it give? It performs action in an environment. Exactly. So chat GPT, large language models, they give answers, they generate content, but AI agents, they do action on your behalf. Now let me give you an example. So for example, so can chat GPT draft a reply for your email? Have you used chat GPT for generating replies to your email? Can ChatGPT generate a reply for your email? Why it can? It can. So basically, if you have received an email, what you can do, you can copy that email, you paste it on ChatGPT, and then you say, please draft a reply in a professional and polite tone. So it will generate a reply for you. It gives a suggestion block rather than a perfect. Okay, but it can actually, whatever it is, but it can generate a reply. But for that, you have to do all the work. You have to first copy that email. You have to paste it on ChatGPT. You need to say, okay, this is, please generate a reply in a professional and polite tone. It will generate a reply, whatever it is, right or wrong, it will generate a reply. Then you have to again copy, paste, and then you have to send. Now that's your current scenario. Now, what if you create an AI? What if you create an AI agent where you give access of your Gmail to ChatGPT? And now you are saying, okay, hello. Now you are saying that, so let's say I say that I have got an email from Prithvi and, generate a reply in professional and polite tone. So now what it will do, it will access my Gmail. It will search with the name Prithvi. It will check the latest email. It will read that email. It will generate a reply, save it in my draft folder and come back. Now, this is what an AI agent is. AI agent does work on your behalf. Let me give you another example. Let's see an example of a multi-travel agent, AI travel agent. So can ChatGPT give you, let's say you are planning a trip to Dubai now for 7 days. Can ChatGPT create an itinerary for you? 7 days itinerary for Dubai. Have you used ChatGPT for that? Can ChatGPT generate a 7 or 10-day itinerary for Dubai? Right? It can actually generate an itinerary. But is itinerary enough? Is itinerary enough for you to travel Dubai? Let's say first you want to understand how the weather is. If weather is good, then only you'll go to Dubai. That's first thing. Second thing, you want to understand what are your hotel options within your budget. Let's say your budget is 10,000 rupees per night. Now, what are hotel options do you have for that budget? Second. Third, let's say you have some food preferences. Let's say you are a vegetarian and now you want that, you should have vegetarian food center or food options around your hotel. Now, multi-AI agent system can do this for you. How will the first agent will access a weather app? It will check a weather app. It will check how the weather would be. And if weather is good, then only it will plan. So then it will give the information to the hotel booking agent. Now, hotel booking agent, what it will do, it will basically access Make My Trip. And within your budget, let's say you have specified 10,000 rupees. So it will actually check what are the hotel options available within 10,000 rupees. Let's say out of those 5 options, come. So it will store those five options in its memory, and then it will access Google Map for vegetarian food option. And then it will check what food options are available for each hotel. And based on that, it will actually plan your travel. Now, it is a job of a proper travel agent. It is not just generating results. It is actually properly planning your trip. So this is what your multi-AI agent system is. So what the idea here is, what we are doing. So earlier, ChatGPT or other LLMs like Claude, Gemini, whatever, they were working in isolation. So if you ask a question, if they know, they will give you the answer. But if they don't know, if they don't know, they can actually they're not able to provide the answer. Okay, so you have what I'm saying. See again. So will you get the current price of the hotel here? What I'm saying is it can. So what we are saying is that what if ChatGPT can start interacting with other applications? So earlier ChatGPT was working in isolation. What if we give access to other application, right? So if ChatGPT can access other application, it can start doing work for you, right? So what are AI agents? AI agents are LLMs plus reasoning, plus it can access external application, and then it has self-reflection capabilities. So AI agent is like, let's say if you ask, that you give multiple tools. So if you ask that, how can I go from Delhi to Dubai? What are the flight options? So now ChatGPT will say, okay, I think I don't know this answer, or maybe let's find this answer on Make My Trip. So you'll already provide an API. It will access Make My Trip. It will search Delhi to Dubai. It will get the answer, and then it will show it to you. So basically, and if ChatGPT thinks that it does not know the answer, it can actually access an external application, get the help, and then once it gets the help, it will also self-reflect that whether this answer is correct or not. Normally, ChatGPT, it doesn't self-reflect. You ask a question, it will give you the answer. AI agent can actually self-reflect. So now what is an AI agent? AI agent is LLMs with reasoning. So you give a complex problem, it will divide into small actionable items. Then it will start executing it. And then it can also access external applications. So now you can access any other application, and then it will also have self-reflection capabilities. So this is how the AI agent works. So if a user comes and gives a request, it will start planning, it will create different tasks. And based on that task, it can actually access any external application, or it will use that thing. And then it will actually provide the result. If the AI agent think that the task has been done, it will give the response back to the user. Otherwise, it will again plan. So this is how AI agents now can actually plan and execute. Okay. So now there are 3 important things that AI agents have. One is the task that they're supposed to do. Let's say if I say, I want to get you, I want you to figure out how many flights are there between Delhi to Dubai between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that's the task. For that, it can actually access an external application using tool. So any external application is a tool. It could be anything. It could be Google search. It could be database lookup. It could be Python interpreter. It could be Wikipedia. It could be any other website. So the point which I'm trying to make here is Earlier, ChatGPT was working in isolation. Now, ChatGPT or any other LLM can actually access an external application. And that's what I'll show you how to build this thing. Okay. So now let's build a very basic agent, which is your basic search agent. Okay. So now, as we said, GPT is generative pre-trained transformer. So these models are pre-trained, as in they have a knowledge cutoff. So if you ask a very latest question, if you ask like, a very, the incident which has happened yesterday or like, in a recent path, AI models will not be able to give you the answer. So how can we solve this problem? We can give access of Google search. So now if you ask a latest question, model will first go and actually, get ask, basically search on Google, get the answer and can provide you the result. And I'll share the code with you. So here in general, if we ask who is the president of the US, model said the current president of the United States is Joe Biden. And then we created an AI agent where we have provided SERP API, which is your search engine API. And then when we asked who is the president of the US, then after figuring out, it provided the answer as Donald Trump. I'll also show you the code. We'll go through that code and I'll provide the answer. But here, see what AI agent is thinking after we have created the agent. So when I asked who is the president of the US, model thought that, okay, it does not know the answer. So what it's saying, I need to find out who the current president of the United States is. I can use a search engine to get this information. So AI agent has decided that it can actually access a search engine to get this information. So what it has decided that action should be search. And what would be the action input, as in what would be the keyword for that search would be who is the president of the United States. So basically what it did, it accessed Google search. It basically searched based on this keyword, who is the president of the United States. And then from this link, it actually got the information. So it says, it thought that search results mention President Trump and a document from White House, but do not explicitly state who the current president is. I need to refine my search. So it again searched that thing. And then from here, it got that Donald Trump is the 47th and current president since January 2025. So then it decided, okay, the search results indicate that Donald Trump is the current president of the United States, serving as the 47th president since January 2025. And then it thought, okay, this is the final answer. And then it gave. So this is what an AI agent is. The point is, large language models generate content. AI agent performs tasks on your behalf. It can actually access any external application. It can self-reflect, and it can also has the reasoning capability. Right. So ChatGPT. So that's what. So train details, and because ChatGPT does not have the latest information, so ChatGPT is not an AI agent. You need to build an AI agent using ChatGPT, as in using OpenAI's model. So because these ChatGPTs and all, they work in isolation. As a developer, now what we can do, we can provide external applications API, and we need to create our AI agents. So that's what AI agents are. Yes, ChatGPT is an LLM. ChatGPT is a large language model. ChatGPT is the brand name, and actual product is LLM. What is the LLM from Google? What is the name of LLM from Google? Or what is the Gemini, right? And what is the name of LLM from Meta? Grok, Llama, right? Llama is from Meta. Grok is from I think that guy. And then DeepSeek is another LLM. What is the LLM from Anthropic? Claude, right? Right. So these all are LLM. So LLM is the actual product. These all are brand name. Llama, Grok, DeepSeek, ChatGPT, right? So Perplexity is kind of an AI agent which actually access Google search and provides you the answer. So have you understood? So now have you understood what AI agents are and what is the difference between an AI agent and an LLM? You understood, right? Others, what what's the difference between an AI agent as and an LLM? But this AI agent response looks slow since it keeps search. Exactly. So now there is a uh, exactly. So now there is some latency. So because it is first search, it is accessing internet, it will search, it will get the result, and it will actually self reflect. And if it thinks answer is not correct, it will again do the same process. So answer response would be slow, but you'll get the accurate information. You are actually increasing the capabilities of the AI agent. So AI agent is not about speed, but it's about it can do multiple tasks. So what we'll do, I'll show you. Let me complete this, and I'll show you this how we can build this AI agent. I can also show you the code with you. Okay. So when you have multiple AI agents working in tandem, then we call it as multi AI agent system. For example, the travel example that I gave you, that one AI agent is accessing weather app, getting the weather information. Another travel agent is accessing Make My Trip, getting the information about hotel, flight, whatever it is. The third AI agent is accessing Google Maps and giving me food options around my hotel. So when three AI agents working, then we call it as multi-AI agent system. Right? Now, agent can collaborate in multiple ways. It could be sequential, that one agent is giving the output to another agent as an input, and then it could be hierarchical, as in one could be a boss agent and other could be junior agents, or it could be asynchronous agents as well, where multiple agents are working parallelly. So we can create any kind of multi-agent system. So I'll show you. This is so this is me, and what I do, I teach AI. I have created AI courses for senior IT professionals. If you want, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. You can scan this code. I'll just stay here for 10-15 seconds so that you can. AI agent can act autonomously when LLM can generate but can't act autonomously. Exactly. Sir, please share the link in the chat box. Yeah, please. What link you want, Aditya? So I am sharing this code. So AI agent is open source. They're open source. I think there are some agents which are there available. I'll share you the link. So yeah. So now I'll show you how to build an AI agent. So this is the collab link. You can actually download this thing from here. Yeah, so this is my LinkedIn profile. Yes, what Rudra has, this is the LinkedIn profile. You can send me a request. I'll be happy to connect with you. And now let's see how we actually build an AI agent. Okay. So we are using this model Gemini 2.0 Flash. Okay. And now if you see, if I ask here, let's say I ask here, who is the president of the US? So it's saying the president of the United States is Joe Biden. Why it is not giving me the correct answer? So when I asked who is the president of the US, I used this model Gemini 2.0 Flash, right? When I said, please explain AI to a 10-year-old kid in 3 lines, it could able to generate an answer. And then I asked, who is the president of the US? It said, the president of the United States is Joe Biden. Why it gave me an outdated answer, old data. Exactly. So now because these are pre-trained models, the training has done before, and this is a GPT. P is for pre-trained. So they are already pre-trained model. Similarly, all other models are also pre-trained. So they have a knowledge cutoff. They don't know information after a given point. And that's where AI agents come. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll build an AI agent. Okay, so what we are saying here, so we are importing Google search results. We'll give Google search to, we will provide Google search to this model. And how do we do that? We use SERP API. If you have to search SERP API, what you can do, you search SERP API, which is your Google search API. Click on here, register. Once you register, you will get the API in the next, right? So that's how you get the SERP API, right? So we are giving Google search results and then give both the API keys, your SERP API key as well as your Google API key. And now we have created this agents where we have passed the tool. Tool is your Google search. LLM is your Gemini 2.0. And then we ask who is the president of the US. So now if you see, it has given me the answer, Donald J. Trump. But just before that, see, I need to find out who the current president of the United States is. I can use a search engine to get this information. Now see, model has decided to use search engine. It has decided that, okay, I don't know the answer, or I might not know the answer. So let me use a search engine. So action is search. And what is the input? Who is the president of the United States? So now model is saying, okay, who is the president of the United States? It has actually, let's say we change it to president of the US. And let's see what happens. Okay, it has still decided who is the current president of the United States. Okay, let me write this. Let's see if it changes the input or not. So now you can see it has changed the input. Now it's searching with current president of the United States. And then here it has actually got the information that, okay, Donald Trump. And then it has decided, okay, that the search results indicate that Donald Trump is the current president. And then it has given this should be the final answer. So this is your very basic search agent. I hope you understood what AI agents are. So AI agent is when they access any external application. Just by generating agent, if you say you are a financial expert and that's not agentic AI. Agentic AI is when LLMs access external application, they have a reasoning power as well as they also self-reflect. I hope you understood by now. Okay. So now last thing, what do you know? I have a fun fact. So what do you think? Who first funded NLP research? Any idea? Any guess? Who first funded NLP research? Elon Musk, no. Google, so the hint is Google got the funding. Now, who can fund Google? Who is bigger than Google? Microsoft, no. Bigger than Google. Microsoft, Google are almost the same. Like, who is much bigger than Google? Meta, no, they are almost the same company. But good guesses. Apple. So it's not a company. So who is bigger than Google? OpenAI is not bigger than Google. And it's not a company or a founder. BlackRock, no. BlackRock is also a company. Though it's an investment firm, it's a company. US government, exactly. So basically, NLP research was first funded by US military. So what happened was that US military wanted to analyze lots of call recordings for security threats. Now, if they had to do it manually, they had to hire multiple people who actually know multiple languages. Now, even if they hire these people have to manually listen to all these calls. Even if they listen all these calls manually, there is a chance that they could miss any sensitive information. So that's the reason US military wanted to automate this process, and that's why they funded Google to do research on NLP, and that's how NLP has progressed. So that's it from my side. I am happy to take any questions or other thing you want. So I have a question. I've been working on an AI agent. What are the best practices for ensuring user privacy and security when building AI agents that access sensitive? Very, very good question. In fact, excellent question. So AI agent security is something which no one is talking about. And it's very easy to hack these AI agents. In fact, you can use other LLMs to hack these AI agents. You can write scripts for hacking, and it's very simple. So actually, this is what are the best practices. Actually, it's a very long answer. I have created a video for that. Maybe I'll share that video with you. You can go through that video, that how to avoid attacks like prompt injection, jailbreaking, privilege escalation, tool poisoning. So there are so many attacks that can happen. So I'll share that video with you. Just ping me on it, LinkedIn. And no, AI agent is not like API. AI agent is, consider 2 years before. ChatGPT works in isolation. You ask a question, if it knows, it provides you the answer. If it doesn't know, it can't, right? Now, what if you if you give access to any other application? For example, now just consider ChatGPT can access any website on the internet. It can access Wikipedia, it can access any medical website, it can access Make My Trip, it can access Google search, any website. Now, when you provide access, through API. So then it becomes an AI agent. So AI agent through API can access any external application. So API is like a waiter in a restaurant. API is like waiter in a restaurant. So what is the role of a waiter? It takes order from a client, and it delivers it. Basically, it gives that order to the kitchen, and then kitchen people will provide the food according to that order, and then waiters delivers the food to you. So waiter actually acts like a messenger between you and kitchen. So that's what API is. When two applications have to interact, let's say ChatGPT and Google search. Now there are two different applications. How will they interact? How will they send message to each other? So they interact using API. So API is that thing. Is this clear? Like, is your answer clear, Yashri? Cool. Any other question? Jashri, is it, have I answered your question? Do you still have? Okay. Any other question? Okay. See, API is like a waiter in a restaurant. What is the role of a waiter? Waiter takes the order from you and gives that information to the kitchen. Kitchen then, gives the food to the waiter based on that order, and then waiter, delivers the food to you. Right? So what is a waiter? Waiter is actually a basically is, acting like a messenger between two parties, between a customer and a kitchen. This is what an API is. API comes handy when you have two different applications. Let's say ChatGPT and Google search. Now, how ChatGPT can interact with Google search? Through APIs. So to any external, two applications, two IT applications, how will they interact? They'll interact through API. So API takes the information from one application, send it, delivers to the second, takes the information from here and delivers to the first. That's how what API is. Is it clear now? Aditya? Yeah, sure. Any other? So, sir, do you have any content or any platform? Yes, like, so I can give you the link of my website. I write. So when you say content, like what kind of content we are looking for? So this is my website. I can share, like, I write some blogs here about AI and all those things. So you can on AI. So this is my website. You can check the website. YouTube also I've recently started. So I'll share the link of YouTube as well. Any questions around AI, LLM, generative AI agents, machine learning? I'll be happy to answer. Okay, so no questions. So then we can wrap this session up. That's it from my side. Thanks for joining on a Sunday evening. I hope it was worth your time. And thanks, Prithvi, for, can you explain how NLP works? I have a few questions, but I'll connect you to, yeah, sure, Judge. Yeah, I explained, right, how NLP works, natural language processing. See, so it started, so what is NLP? NLP is natural language processing. Natural language like English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, French, German, right? How computers started understanding your natural language. So initially, what we did, if you see here, we started with this thing called tokenization. So what we convert words into numbers, or we assign a number to a word. So when you assign this, and when you say this equals to 1 is equals to 2, a equals to 3, so this is a great way to learn AI. This sentence actually becomes this number vector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and AI is a great boon to society, becomes this numbers. And then basically what you do mathematical operations to figure out a pattern that how these words are related. And then what model does, model actually starts predicting the next word, right? So if you say my name, it will predict is. And that's what ChatGPT is also doing. At its core, it's only predicting the missing word or the next word. So that's how it started. And then, but then there are other things like, then RNN, and then LSTM, and then came transformer, which actually solved the problem. So that's how AI models started understanding. And then there are other things like decoder, encoder. So that's a long topic. That's a long discussion, because NLP itself is a, like a topic for 6 months. But on a high level, that's what NLP is. And that's how NLP works. Any question? Any more questions? Thank you. Thank you, Jeshri. Roadmap for AI agents. I can. So roadmap for AI agent would be that first learn large language models, then learn how to build applications using large language models, right? Like, how to build a customer support chatbot or how to build a YouTube summarizer. After that, learn AI agents, then multi AI agent system, then learn how to evaluate those AI agents, then learn how to use memory in AI agents, then learn model context protocol, and then learn AI safety. So these are the things you should be learning while for you to learn or master AI agents. There are some 8-10 topics, I guess, you need to learn. No, you can learn like it's not that you have to learn multiple LLMs. Just start with anyone, or maybe I suggest Gemini, because Gemini is free. When you use OpenAI models, you have to pay, like, you have to pay minimum $5 to get started. Gemini is free, so I suggest you start with Gemini. And all models are same. It's just that you have to use the API. So you can, and for Gemini, what you can do, you can go to here, like aistudio.google.com. So once you go to AI Studio, so here you can get API key. So you can easily get the API key, and if you see, it's free. If you create an API key, it's free as well. So you can get started here. So Gemini would be good. Okay. Okay, great. So I think so we have done the recording. It would be there on YouTube. So it's 8:30 now. I think so. If you don't have any questions, let's wrap this up. Thanks again for joining, and thanks Prithvi for having me. Bye. Thank you, Swastika.